just tried to get that kick across, but just didn't make the distance with Harry Bryant intercepting.
Well, Rioli really clever to Hill, and Hill will get the free kick. He's within range. Answer the Hawks' prayers early going and get it back to a 2-point game. Well, Hawks fans hunting a goal. Hill delivers. Terrific off the boot. Back to 2 points. Talk about players bulking up. He is one that...
The game so far has been played at Collingwood's end too. Inside 50s, 8-1 in the early part of this game. Just a free kick, a silly free kick given away there by Who's Shaw. Just a nothing silly free kick. And this will give Hawthorn the chance to get inside 50 for just the second time.
Got a bit of history, Lewis and Shaw, don't they? So it was just that moment of madness. And then Franklin, short.
This really annoys you as a coach. Like
Interesting, isn't it? They gave up a lot to get him. This is his 4th season. There's been arguments. Did they give up too much? He's been a good player.
Oh, he's an outstanding player.
Yeah, he's a handy man, isn't he? He did that in Sydney last year at a pretty important stage in the match, didn't he? It's a good goal, but not for Heath. So Shaw, who's such a... And Hawthorn really do need the next forward 50 entry and goal. Shields gets it and they get that entry. Can Franklin get involved? Well, Hale does. It's a good mark in these conditions. 3rd season here. A bit like Gibson and Burgoyne. They topped up with these types of players, the Hawks, didn't they? They've got Brian Lake this year waiting to get a first crack at it. Feeling they can make a difference. Hale's a good goal kicker. Steady Eddie straight through. So they get the one back they needed to. So again, we get a real burst of rain at the start of the season.
Again, they combine this time. Bailey just knocks it. And then Anderson onto the right boot. High up and under. Big fly out the back. Reed couldn't quite make it stick. Rioli. Johnson on top of him. Reed looks to be in some sort of trouble. He's still on the ground at the back as the ball just works inside 50. And Ruffy will be right on his distance. Still yet to play. Beams watching on Roughead. Well, the crowd tells the story. The Hawks are happy, but the Pies...
The 3 they've topped up with. Handball by Birchall. Back to Franklin. Pendlebury and Franklin. Franklin hooks the ball back. Johnson had a bit of an airy. And Anderson's going to kick a goal. And he does. Well, it was scrambly, wasn't it? There was not much in it.
Well, it was a slow, laborious build-up to this goal, but in the end, there's an Anderson snap, and even though it's only 14...
Swan's been terrific. Hudson, Thomas, pretty good daisy. Slip slide, we can see Burgoyne off the step. Gets a bit on it, actually, Burgoyne. Spirals it forward, and Franklin's got it against Frost there. It was that chaos kick, really, from Burgoyne that got rolling in the air.
Sort of marking contest.
I think the talk just carried too far.
So Hawthorn dominating the inside 50s. Have had the last 8. Franklin's first real go, and he goes. So Hawthorn closed the gap. Well, Tim made a really good point about Buddy a couple of minutes ago. He just got involved before half-time. It's a bit like last week in a way, Collingwood playing the Carlton role where they dominated a lot of the match. Gee, Hodge has got a bit on this. It's a goal. Oh, he's a beauty, this captain, isn't he? He just took a step, sized it up and went bang.
I mean, he kicked under the new interpretation. He shouldn't have got the free kick, but that's just off one step, and he's hit that sweetly, and that is a fantastic kick from that stoppage. But, you know, in terms of a leader, he's out there, he's throwing himself at everything. Now, you can only look on in awe if you're a Hawthorn player and try and follow his example. So he is an outstanding, but you know, he's one of the best midfielders that actually going back as a defender too.
Dangerous kick. Hawthorn lead for the first time today.
And Breust an opportunity. Well, they're in front now. And they're in front by 7. He's such a goal kicker, Luke Breust. He arrived on the scene and he quietly went about his work in 2011, and only Buddy kicked more than him. Last year he kicked a bag on debut.
Here's the kick, doesn't hit the mark, good spoil there, and then Breust with a good snap. And you know, if you're sitting in Nathan Buckley's position right now,
he has to go and rove himself. Anderson gave it to Smith. Birchall, just a spiral ball inside. Buddy's use of the body was terrific. He's got it the first, the second, and he's been paid.
It's fine. Screen there now at the bottom there. That was going to be a problem if the ball hit the ground.
Well, Buddy's got one. It was a set shot at the other end. He's now got two. And the Hawks are in the box seat on a Sunday afternoon.
Ruffy, she's in a dangerous position here. Clark, still Clark. Frost has to get it out. Clark holds up. Roughead. Johnson off a step, doesn't get it very far. Blair and Birchall. Birchall taps it down. Hodge to Birchall, and Birchall kicks the goal. Hawthorn are coming hard. They just wore them down.
They did. They just kept coming, didn't they, Hawthorn? There's Hodge again, handball over to Birchall, and this time onto his left boot. He's drifted down from
Sunday afternoon.
Done well here, Collingwood, because this match was getting away from them. See a big torpedo coming from Guerra. Big play here. Stratton run down, but okay. Franklin with a hurdle, and then the long one. This will be something. It is. It's an MCG special from Buddy. Dare I say it was Watson-like, Timmy, all those years ago at Waverley. It was a big hurdle and a big goal.
That is amazing, though, isn't it? That score. Here we go. From the goal square down the middle of the ground. You could hardly get it any straighter than that. And then you've got Buddy looping, and then he's kicked the ball inside the square. And I'd like to get a stop clock. 12 seconds that took from end to end. That is just extraordinary.
Usain Bolt can't go quicker than that.
Actually, I think my kick that night had a bit more degree of difficulty, Macca. Well, I had Harmsy chasing me.
Attack in the fourth quarter.
So Hodge and Rioli and Mitchell all starting to get a piece of it. Right on cue, Hodge. A spiral ball, a beautiful ball. That is ridiculous. From a long way out, the skipper delivers.
So similar, wasn't it, to that goal that he kicked in the second quarter, only that one probably was from further out, and he got a better piece of that one. The other one in the second. It was Dane Swan that was probably responsible for him at that stoppage. Just lost him. Didn't get a
Had everything this turn.
Push!
Oh, gee, that's a push.
I'd like to see that again.
Push. They're big free kicks, aren't they?
Oh,
inside the forward 50.
Here it is. Oh dear, oh dear.
A couple of ruckmen engaging, eh? And then Roughead in the scoring position.
I think the Collingwood crowd might agree with you boys there.
So Roughead, who's kicked a goal and hit the post, and now kicks a second goal. That hurts. Really hurts.
They lead by 22. They lead by a point at half-time. Shields crashes it in the Buddy direction. Here we go, set up for Buddy. It should sit. Now what does he do? Does he take everyone on? He's selfless, he's brilliant, and Burgoyne goals. Wow!
Yeah, they were really loose then, Collingwood, at this stoppage on centre wing. Shields was on the defensive side, but there was nobody near him. Normally what happens in a situation like that is the half-forward rolls up to that stoppage, the Collingwood half-forward, and actually picks up that sweeping-type player, which they didn't.
Tim, I reckon Lynch got outpointed badly there by Hale, and Hudson was trying to get on the ground for that boundary throw, and it turned out.
Right. O'Brien will receive. The side bottom is on. Russell points downtown. Pendlebury used again. A couple of Hawks to beat. He's put under enormous pressure. Play on the call. Anderson long to Rioli. Howlett settled. Rioli hard up against the boundary line. He's so clever in this scenario. This time he pulls a kick and he finds Breust.
Shields has been fantastic this quarter too. He's had 10 possessions.
So Breust, his first goal was the first of this third term. Can he make it the last? Right on the buzzer. So what a third term from the Hawks. They came in trailing by a point, and they've had a monumental term.
And then Guerra, that big body of Guerra worked well. Anderson to Hill, they're two 19-year-olds combining. Hill's kick, not a good one, but it might come off. Franklin, yeah, he's got it. Buddy's kicked 4, and the Hawks lead by 5.
Go back to that moment in the second quarter. Just looking at that setup, there was 2 options there. He actually could have hit him with the first kick, but unfortunately missed it. But he was the first back on the ball.
But he's got balance. He's made a real impact in his first 3 games. Hale outnumbered. Well done, Lynch, belting away. Blair, rode brilliantly by Breust. He's kicked a couple on his left, and he puts a margin between the Hawks and the Pies.
Just not fair sometimes. That's as good a crumb as you'll ever see there from Blair. I mean, that was fantastic in these conditions.
Dwyer the target, but Rioli the beneficiary. It just spills. He takes everyone on. 1 bounce, 2. Can he finish? He pulls the kick to Buddy. It was well dealt with in the end by Reed. Still in a hot spot. Anderson on the right. It'll work out okay. Off Hill. He's still got time. He can still finish, and finish he does. A couple for Hill. First bounce in the third term. It has been so much about Hawthorn. They've been so good on top of the ground, and the big names have been brilliant.
Yeah. Interesting, a couple of weeks ago after Hawthorn got beaten by Geelong, everybody was talking about their lack of pace and the fact that they couldn't cover the ground well. There's no evidence of that this afternoon. They've got that bloke on one wing. They've injected, they've added Anderson into the side as well. So his grand final as well. Like, they still got the ball inside their attacking 50 so many more times from Sydney. What they couldn't do is they couldn't actually score once they got it there. So they didn't do a lot wrong last year, Hawthorn.
To redeem the grand final disappointment of last year, and if Ruffy stays fit and Buddy continues his prolific form, they're going to have that potent forward line, and they've got the miserly defence, and Ruffy just draws it back for his third. Another Sunday afternoon special, 72,000
level, but you feel like it's a good fit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Just adds that extra experience, strong-bodied defender.
Here's Franklin bashing and crashing and gives to Burgoyne, and Burgoyne gives. They're a charitable lot, aren't they? And Puopolo's on the end of it.
That number.
I know. I said earlier today, hey, Lingy, I said, remember when Buck spoke to you and said they averaged 137 against us? That's what, and I said to Tim earlier today, there's no way they're going to get 137 today. What's the scoreboard read?
Yeah, well, at half time, I would have agreed completely with you, Bruce. There was no way. It was low scoring, and the Pies were playing well. But this has been a very, very impressive effort for the Hawks. They just keep turning the ball, or making Collingwood turn the ball over, and they are scoring heavily.
Opportunity for much of this second half.
O'Brien gives to Hudson. The Hudson experiments worked okay today, Lewis on the end. Any argument there from you, Lingy?
None whatsoever.
Stages of the game, and showed enormous leadership out there.
So he's got a long leg, Lewis, we know that. Like many of his fellow teammates on the left side. Lovely, lovely, lovely kick. Oh, it's a shellacking now, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 separate goal kickers today as well. That's
an inside Dwyer. Well, Rioli again, just so much pressure, held him up, took on Hudson. Works it for Fasolo, kicks it into Stratton. Rioli again over the top to Burgoyne's on now. And Breust, easy option to Burgoyne, and Burgoyne just has a look downtown and says, I'm up for this. He's got 3. And the Hawks are now dismantling the Pies.
They really are, aren't they?
That passage of play there will really, really please Alistair Clarkson. What are we there? 27-minute mark of the last quarter. They've got the game won, but they just kept pressuring, and they eventually turned the ball over and then attacked on the back of it. That's what Alistair Clarkson would like to see from his players. Play the game right out to the very end the way they want to play.
Hey, Lingy, Rioli's now had 9 contested possessions in this last quarter alone.
He's just, I just love watching him. I just love watching him play. Every time he's near the footy.
You're showing your age, Tim. Rock Hudson, eh? the big actor of what, the 1950s, I guess. Belted away, and that's what they did. They belted away a big win today. What a magnificent effort by Hawthorn. Led off the back of Luke Hodge and Buddy Franklin and Cyril Rioli. So the Hawks, favourite for the flags, beat Collingwood.
Team at Hawthorn, we're the mighty fighting Hawks. We love our club and we play to win, fighting the Fox with a grin at Hawthorn. Come what may, you'll find us striving. Teamwork is the thing that talks.